Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rippln co-founder Jonathan Budd, and I have on the line with me also the fanatical, the ravenously passionate Mr. Michael Rutherford, who is absolutely one of the pioneers of Rippln. Michael, what's up, partner? Say hi.
What is happening, brother? Glad to be here.
Hey, man, super glad you're here. And we appreciate each and every one of you. Tonight, we're going to get down to the brass tactics of what it really takes to build a Rippln business. And I think we'll probably be able to burn through this pretty quickly. We've prepared a brand new handout that we're going to be releasing to everybody. In fact, in just a moment, I'm going to put the link for you to download it in the chat section. But before I do that, I really just want to kind of touch basically a little bit about the Rippln business model because, right now, each and every one of us finds ourselves, really in the middle of an innovative, pioneering new type of business model. And most of us on the line don't need to be sold about, the benefits of being an entrepreneur, the benefits of owning your own business. Most of us probably already get the picture, right? I mean, we get the picture that if we want to create something in life, it's up to us to do it. If we want to make $1 million in life, it's up to us to do it. Not too many jobs are going to provide that. Not too many traditional avenues are going to provide that. Unless you want to go invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in a franchise, you're probably not going to get a six-figure, business in a lot of different other areas anytime soon. And so really, that was the landscape that introduced me to direct sales 7 or 8 years ago. I was sitting there thinking to myself, how the heck am I actually going to achieve my goals in life, my dreams in life, whatever it is I wanted, right, at the time? And in one form, way, or another, that same question, I believe, is what brought us all here. Do you think that's true, Michael?
It really is. It's funny as we've really kicked this project off and started to separate out the different levels of interest or the different levels of outcome here. You've got spectators and fans and players and all these different levels of commitment people can be in. And it really does come down to, I believe, what is someone's belief and what are they trying to accomplish? Like you said, you're really looking for people that are looking for you to go build a full-time income. And, that happened for me 4 years ago when I met Brian for the very first time. So it's really fun to meet people that are looking for you. It's, that's what's fun.
Absolutely, my friend. And I think, you hit the nail on the head. What is it you're trying to accomplish? And, what I'd like to just share with everybody and sort of lead with tonight is that, for those of us who dream big and we really want to accomplish something, what I can promise you is that if you execute this plan right here, as the Rippln ecosystem matures, we're truly inside of a business model that has the ability to finance the life of our dreams. And it's really important that everyone understands that. Because if you understand how this business model works, you truly get exactly how it works. And you get what you have to do to really play the game and win, right? How do you actually win and create the financial reality you're looking for? Then this plan is really going to deliver that to you. And so without further ado, let's just hop right in. Now, first things first, what the essential, I think, unique value proposition that Rippln has created, right? What it is that we have to offer the world is our first ever platform. There's never been a platform that gives you or me or any end consumer the ability to build their own audience, right? You actually have the ability to build your own audience. You can simply invite people to the Ripple or invite people to our upcoming apps that are coming out or invite people to purchase our products that we're releasing. You can invite people to the Ripple, and as you do that, all those people are tracked to you as they join, but their ripple effect of invitees are tracked to you as they join, and so on and so on and so on. So in effect, what you're really doing is you're using technology, you're using our platform to build your own audience of people. And then it's really our job at Rippln to help you monetize that audience of people. It's our job to help introduce the products and the services and the apps and the things that are actually going to turn that audience into profits for your business. So, just understanding that simple concept, that really is the crux of this whole business model. And it's really also what's so darn innovative. Because if you look at the largest companies today, and stop me if I'm rambling, Michael, because I know I go on crazy sometimes, but if you really look at the largest companies today, Facebook, Twitter, all of them, Zynga, what they have truly done is they've used technology to build an audience. That's what they've did, whether it was creating a social, networking platform, whether it was creating games in the form of apps. They're using technology to build an audience, and then they simply monetize that audience later. And really, this is the first time in history that the power of this is pretty much in all of our hands right here and right now. So if that's exciting to you, I generally like to get a little engagement, so go ahead and hit the hands raised. If you're excited about the power of that model, hit that hand right here so I can see who's with me so far before we dive into the rest of this training here today. Excellent. That's what I like to see. Does that get you more excited, Mike, when you start seeing those numbers of hands just going crazy?
Oh, it absolutely does. And what's funny about that is when you think about audience, we've all been building one our whole lives. I mean, there's a bunch of baby boomers. Of all the people that are on this call, there's a lot of people on here that are quote-unquote baby boomers. They were born between 46 and 64, and there's tens of millions of them. And for the last 30 years as an adult, they've been building audience. They've been building influence. They've been accumulating, persuasion, so to speak, with their friends in the market. And until Rippln, they've never had a chance to actually be rewarded for it. So you kind of scratch your head and go, well, what the heck have you been doing it for all these years? And a lot of the messages I get from people, they're like, man, it's almost as if Rippln was created for me at this stage in my life. And, as you talk about audience builds, it really is a wake-up call to, I think, anybody that's in the Ripple. I don't think anyone realized up till now just how much influence they had in the world, and it took Rippln, that it took us putting their influence under a microscope in the Ripple until they really realized what they had. And this is just the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. It's just so darn powerful to actually see that transparency, because then you know that you've got a lot more power than you thought you had. Um, Let me see. Did that link come through too? Do you guys all see that? Just let me know in the questions box if you see that link. Just say yes. Okay, awesome. It should be in your. If you look in your chat section, you should have a link right there that you can click, and it will actually take you to download tonight's presentation. And what I'd love for everybody to do is, if you're following along right now, just go ahead and download a copy of this presentation, and then we'll go ahead and we'll just go through this together. And like I said, I think we should be able to bang this out in about 20 minutes so that we can all actually get to taking action and implementing the knowledge we learned tonight, which is the only thing that ever leads to creating successful results. And so the last thing I'll say is that this plan that we're giving tonight is based on our current state of play in Rippln. So this is based on exactly where we are right now. So this is a plan for you to literally build a business based on exactly where we are right now. And as we continue to evolve this company and we continue to evolve this ecosystem, this plan is going to get better and better and better and more and more and more and more lucrative. So keep that in mind as well, because we'll be doing a series of these types of trainings likely over the next 90 days as we continue to really introduce different products into the Rippln ecosystem. So with that being said, let's dive right in. And first things first, if you want to learn the plan for how to earn income with Rippln, first things first is you have to level up. So you first have to level up. And there's two parts to leveling up. Step one, which is everybody on this call, you've powered up as a player. It's a one-time activation for $95, and then it's $30 a month for the Rippln reward system. and this qualifies you to get paid on all activity happening in your Ripple, plus unlocks the advanced features of the marketing and play tab, which is really the secret sauce to Rippln success. And when we get down a little bit more, Michael, I definitely want you to share some of the strategies for how you're using the Rippln tracking system to really build some depth in your group, because I know that that one tool alone is really unbelievably powerful to build a business. And step two, I'm just going to start letting people know right now, just a little seeding. There will be a Rippln All-Star announcement coming soon. And this is a new promotion, a new announcement that the board is actually meeting on tonight. We've got some exciting stuff we're going to be talking about, and we're going to be announcing this soon, so be ready for that. But I want to create a little mystery around it so that you're excited once it comes. Now, essentially, once you've done this, once you've leveled up, now you're truly ready to play. And you've got to understand that the first goal in Rippln is to reach level 1 in the Rippln rewards plan. That's it. Your entire first goal for how to earn an income with this company is to reach level 1 in the Rippln rewards plan. And you've done that when 2 players have powered up and you have a total of 15 free fans in the Ripple. So basically, you know, once you're there, whoa, where are you going? Once you're there, hold on, let me read this next section. Yes. Like I announced or alluded to a little bit earlier, the All-Star announcement that's coming, there's a second part of this plan, which is we really recommend that everybody commits to powering up at the All-Star level, and you'll learn more about All-Star soon. And really, these two things that once you actually embody the behavior, once you've personally powered up and you've also you became an All-Star, this is what's going to qualify you to truly maximize your Rippln social business and be able to produce the biggest checks on your team. So this is really just sort of laying the foundation. This is the first thing you need to do. This is step number 1 on your way to really earning an income with Rippln. And before we get to the next step, I just want to briefly talk about how to sign someone up as a player. Because if your first goal is to find your first 2 players and reach level 1 in the Rippln rewards plan, then it's probably important that we talk a little bit about how you do that. And I know Mike's going to have some good insight into this as well. So really, the Rippln platform is ridiculously simple. We've made it so simple for somebody to build this business. First thing you do is invite future fans into the Ripple. And I know every single one of us who's on this call has done that before. We know how easy it is to enter an email or enter a text and invite somebody to the Ripple. Now, after you've done that, here's where it starts to actually pick up a little bit. We recommend that you call and you really begin building a personal relationship, or you call if you already have a personal relationship and just sort of touch in on the invitation that you just sent. And you might even want to call the many fans that you have in your Ripple right now. For those of us who are players who maybe have 100 fans in our Ripple, or 500 fans in our Ripple, or 1,000 fans in our Ripple, well, if you're a player right now, you've got total analytics into your entire team. You've literally got email addresses, phone numbers of all those people. And it really might be worth your while to pick up the phone and just start building a relationship and sort of getting in touch with a lot of the people who are in your Ripple and kind of just seeing where they're at. Because I guarantee that you have amazing potential teammates that are just sitting there waiting to be unleashed. And a lot of times what they need in order to be unleashed is they really need your relationship. They really need your enthusiasm. They need your passion. They need your vision. They need your excitement for what it is that we're up to. And once they see that, once they hear that, you know, now you've really got an open door to kind of take the conversation to the next level. So, Michael, I know you've been doing a ton of this, my friend. Is there any advice or any strategy that you might want to share with everybody, you know, when calling people after they've sent out an invitation, or calling people who might be in the Ripple right now? What do you think would be helpful for everybody to know who's on the line?
Definitely, that's, in my opinion, that's everything other than enrolling brand new people. That's everything, and we covered it in Dallas for those of you that were there. it really is about diving in and building relationships with the people that are in your Ripple, because we've all put in, some of us lots of people, 50 people, 100 people, 200 people. Some of us put in 15 people. But what I see so often is people mismanage talent they've got in their Ripple. Even if it's 15 people, I'd be willing to bet 2 or 3 of them would be players instantly if they knew what it was, and more importantly, why to do it, and if they knew that you were going to help them. Nobody wants to do anything alone. You don't go to the movies alone. You don't want to build your own business alone. People want to do it with their friends. They joined you, not just Rippln, they joined you. So it's up to you as the front, as the face of that relationship, to just care enough to reach down and communicate with them. And I would say, just be cool. Keep it simple and use the tools that we have. You don't have to recreate anything. Use the Wealth Revolution video and convert fans to players with that video alone. It was funny. I've got a guy in my group with over 100,000 people in his Ripple, and he goes, dude, that's what he calls me, dude, I just watched the Wealth Revolution video twice. It's insane. And I go, had you not seen it lately? And he goes, I haven't seen it since we put it out, and I forgot how good it was. And instantly started taking it and putting it in front of the eyeballs of each of his fans, and getting them introduced to why they should become a player. And then as they start stepping up and becoming players, the duplication process immediately begins, so people can start introducing that video to their players. And that's really the foundation of your Ripple.
Exactly. You triggered two big things for me there too, man. Basically, just to kind of show the value of the system that we all have in our hands too. One of the biggest things oftentimes that any business owner will struggle with when starting a business is always lead generation, right? How do you actually find prospects, find leads for your business? Well, there are 1.3 million leads in the Ripple right now. Literally, 1.3 million. Every single one of those people in your Ripple might have gone viral, and it might be 100 people, 500 people, 1,000 people. Every one of those people is actually a lead for your business. That's actually a lead that could turn into a major income-producing asset if you manage that relationship correctly. Now, just to give you an idea of how valuable that is, on average, if you're to go to a lead broker, right, and you want to buy a lead, it's on average $5 a lead. If you want to learn how to generate your own leads on the internet, you're going to spend a ton of time, a ton of money, and it's going to end up costing, just to learn how, and then it's going to end up costing you probably $5 to $7 per lead anyway. If you've got 500 people in your Ripple right now, you are literally looking at, no joke, a $2,500 to $3,000 marketing asset. I mean, it would have cost you $2,500 to $3,000 to get just the same amount of those leads. But here's what's crazy. They would be inferior in every single way. Every one of those leads who are in your Ripple right now, every single one of them got an invitation, was interested, signed up. A lot of them have probably been getting the emails. I mean, these are as warm of leads as you could possibly imagine. So let's just, think that what would those leads be worth? Possibly $7, $8, $10 a lead if you're really going to buy that warm of a lead from a broker. I mean, if you've got 100 people in your Ripple, you could be looking at $1,000 worth of marketing just sitting right there. If you've got 1,000 people in your Ripple, you've got $10,000 worth of marketing sitting right there. And if I think that, there's one thing that Rippln really has done, really darn good, without even really knowing we were doing it to begin with, quite honestly, is we've created a lead generating monster. I mean, this thing is just a monster for how many prospects it has the ability to generate you. And at the end of the day, if you really understand business, then you understand that if you've got steady and consistent prospects coming into your business, you're going to build a real income with this thing. I mean, it's just a matter of time before prospects convert to, cash. And so I think that's a really, really just point to take home and kind of understand the value of what you have inside your Rippln tracking system alone. And then the second thing Oh man, I think I probably forgot the second thing because I rambled on so long. But basically, once you've invited a new fan to the Ripple, oh, that was it. What we've done is we've created this amazing sort of marketing process. We've given you this amazing audience building platform. But, a lot of times, just watching a video without having that personal touch, there's that person may be lukewarm. But when you give them the phone call, now all of a sudden they turn red hot. So what you want to do is, as people are coming into your Ripple, you want to figure out how to sift and sort. Who are the people who, they checked it out, but they're not interested? Goodbye to those people. Who are the people that were lukewarm, they were interested, but you can turn them to be red hot? And that's what, the value of really reaching out and making that personal connection with all the people in your Ripple. That's the value right there, is that you're really building relationships. You're turning lukewarm to red hot prospects, and those are people that are going to level up and they're going to become players. And once they start plugging into training just like this, that's when you start to see viral duplication and viral growth start to happen in your Ripple. And so if your Ripple is growing and taking off like crazy, and think of what's going to happen as we introduce all the apps, all the products, etc. And now you can start to see how really automated income and automated checks get produced from the Ripple that you're building. So let's just blaze through these steps right here for after you've called that first person. Once you've sent that first invite and you notice that somebody just accepted the invite, you've reached out, you've called them. Step number one, have them watch the Wealth Revolution video on Rippln.com. Again, you don't need to explain a single bit of this. You don't need to talk to them about platforms. You don't need to talk. Just call them up and say, hey, notice you just signed in the Ripple. Just wanted to introduce myself. You got any questions? Hey, yeah, this is, I think it's cool. This is what have you seen the Wealth Revolution video? Okay, cool. Check this video out. Let's talk after you watch this video, because I think after you watch this video, you're probably really going to get what we're up to, and I'd love to chat with you again. Boom. Send them the link to watch the Wealth Revolution video. Let the Wealth Revolution video do the influencing for you. The more that we put people in front of our media, the more they're going to see our vision if they're aligned with it, and those people are going to want to join you. They're going to be ready. So step two, after you've had them watch the Wealth Revolution video, set up a time, get back in touch with them, and ask them if they want to power up. I mean, just ask them point blank. Hey, what do you think? Do you want to create an income with this thing? Do you want to be on my team? Do you want to have fun? I mean, I'm already at level 1. I'm trying to get to level 2, or I'm trying to get to level 3. Let's have fun with this thing. Let's be teammates. Let's rock it. Do you want to power up? And there's so much power in a question. One of the things I've learned is I've grown businesses all over the world in this industry, and really have worked with tens of thousands of people, training them on all sorts of strategies like this, is that you have to ask for what you want. If you want something, ask for it. If you want somebody to be a player, ask them to power up. Hey, do you want to power up right now? What do you think? Do you want to power up? I think you should power up. Do you want to power up? Ask them to do what you want them to do, and then you're either going to get an answer, yes or no. But that's great, because if they say yes, you're going to be making more money. If they say no, now you can say, okay, well, why don't you? And now you can start to, go into a little bit of some of what their thinking is, or objections, and see if you can talk them through that and turn them into a yes. And it's the same process of just asking questions. So in any case, we'll do more training on this later on, but this is really valuable stuff that's going to give you a lot of insight into how to grow your business and really use the tools of the Rippln tracking system, because it gives you so much data, it's not even funny. And make sure that you walk them through the benefits and ask them to power up. And a lot of people you're going to get to power up just by doing that. Michael, do you want to add anything before we move on to step number 3?
No, I just would agree with you. You'd be amazed at the results that you'll get with the power of the ask. And if you don't ask, you'll never know. And the other person is sort of waiting on you to lead them. They just came in. They don't know what to do. It's sort of like bringing a newborn baby home from the hospital. You don't toss him or her in a crib and just come back a few hours later. That baby doesn't get out of your sight for days or weeks, and some people for months. And I'm not saying to smother a new person that you bring into the Ripple as a fan, but you have to lead them. Don't micromanage them, lead them. and ask them,
Love it.
say, look, do you want to be a player with me? I'm a player. Here's why. Pump them on the video, and do you want to play with me? When the ball drops, do you want to play on the field or do you want to sit in the stands as a fan? You tell me, let's roll. I'm running.
Absolutely, my friend. I love it. I love it. All right, step 3. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Okay, so once you've had that first person or that second person or that 10th person say, you know what, yeah, I want to be a player, I'm going to level up. Well, what do? You have them invite their first 5 fans into the Ripple. And then you really teach them the same way that you called each person you invited to the Ripple and just started building a relationship or asking them what they thought, inviting them to watch the Wealth Revolution video. Have them do the exact same thing. Follow up with each fan and invite their fans to become players. And so everybody really has the same goals. The second that we become a player, our goal is to get to level 1. How do we get to level 1? Well, we find 2 players on our first Ripple and we get to 15 fans. How do we find 2 players? We invite fans. We call them, we have them watch the Wealth Revolution video, we call them back, and we ask them to power up. We ask them to become a player and join our team. And that simple process, it's all simply a matter of numbers. And you're going to find the people who resonate with the vision, and that's how your team is going to start to go viral around the world. And step 4, this isn't step 5, we actually made a slight mistake in the PDF, but step 4 is teach them to work with their new people just like you did. And the magic of duplication is truly in that. It's in everybody learning how to do the exact same simple action. If you learn how to invite fans to the Ripple and get your first 2 players, and then you teach your first 2 players how to do that same thing, but then you also teach your first 2 players how to teach just like you did to them, you have literal potential for viral duplication in your Ripple, and this is how a business model like this, literally will grow all over the world and could also produce, automated income in that fashion. So that really is the secret, my friends. Michael, what do you think? What else do you want to say about that?
If you do it right, you should have infinite raw materials in your Ripple forever. If you do it right, you should never run out of leads. You should never have to pay for leads. You should never have to search for friends online. You should have an overwhelming influx of people chasing you down for you to teach them how to be an all-star in the Ripple. Because if you've got 2 people in your Ripple, you have what it takes to go build a 1 million-person audience. Everybody in the Ripple that has 100,000 or more started with 2 people, and those 2 people put a couple, and if it's like an avalanche, as cheesy as it is, and considering it's summer, every avalanche starts with a couple of snowflakes getting together, having a party, and moving down the mountain, and the more momentum it gets, the crazier it gets. This is the same way. People just have to realize that that's the end game, but it starts with that 2-person foundation and duplicate.
Absolutely, my friend. Only you would use the party and snowflake analogy. Snowflakes partying down the mountain. I love it. So basically, that's how to get players in a nutshell. Now, next we move on to how to level up in the game. Because here's the whole thing. If you want to make more money in Rippln, then all you got to do is level up in the game. So you go from being level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level 4 to level 5 to being an all-star. Now, the entire point of this game is to move up the levels as fast as you can. Each level means that each level you get to means more income you can earn through your Ripple, plus it means increased payouts on all the activity happening in your Ripple. So it's a double win. You're going to be earning more income and getting more payout on the income that you're earning as you move up through each level. So there's 6 levels to this game. Level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and All-Star. Now, All-Star is the most prestigious rank you can currently earn in the Rippln community, and your goal should be to level up to All-Star as fast as you possibly can. Now, the steps to achieve this are actually really simple. Here's how you do it. You enroll 15 players personally in your first Ripple. So once you've got 15 players personally and you've reached a total of 15,000 fans, right? but no more than 50% can come from any one of your ripples. And last but not least, you've helped 5 of your teammates also become level 5 players themselves. You will have reached All-Star. And All-Star is pretty much the most coveted position that you can get to in Rippln. So no matter where you are, have fun. But you know where your goal is, right? Your goal is really, how do I become an all-star as fast as possible in Rippln? And every single day, that goal should be top of your mind. Every single day, you should be thinking, what do I need to do today to become an all-star? And when you do that, it's just a matter of time before you'll be an all-star. So how you succeed in Rippln, and this is pretty much the truth for anything in life, but you succeed by simply helping people. Okay, you succeed by simply helping people. You will level up through this game by focusing on helping others in your team to reach level 1. So let's say that you bring in your first player. Now, sometimes we might be, you know, deluded to think that we should focus all on ourselves, right? Well, I've got to do this, I got to do that. But the reality is, if you switch and all of a sudden you just start focusing, okay, I just got my first player, how do I help him become level 1? And so your focus literally becomes, how do I help my team? You know where each of your team is at. You've got one person who's level 1, one person who's level 2, one person who's level 3, and your goal is, how do I help that level 1 person get to level 2? How do I help that level 3 person get to level 4? How do I help the level 5 person get to all-star? And when that becomes your mindset, one day you will look back after helping your team to level up and you'll be an all-star. You would not even ever have had to focus on it. You'll just be an all-star simply because you were focused on helping other people reach their goals and helping other people reach the level they want to be in the Rippln plan. And my friends, that is truly the magic of how you become massively successful in this business. You look at all the people who really are the best, and their focus is on helping others, and they put their heart into it, they put their soul into it, they really mean it. They're here to serve and help others, and that's really how you move through this plan lightning fast. I know that you're an example of that, Michael. I mean, all day long, man, I just see you working with your team, doing hangouts, doing trainings, just anything you can to help your team. So I'm sure that you probably got something you want to say on that as well.
I'll try to keep my stuff short. It really is when you get into the game at a high level, you really want to play a big game. And Brian always says, the bigger the game, the bigger the players that step up. There's some people that are stepping up huge. And what they're doing is they're turning their business into an all-star factory. And all they're doing is churning out all-stars. Now, those people may not have popped all-star yet, but their entire laser beam, crystal clear focus is to hit all-star. And it is an entire culture built around popping all-stars. And in order to hit that, you've got to start with first, creating MVP player machines inside of that all-star factory. I mean, that's really what it is.
Yep.
And those are those stepping stones, and it just continues to build on itself.
Absolutely. And it's really as simple as just following the plan that we're giving out right here. So if anybody did not download the plan, you can go look in your chat box right on GoToWebinar. Just look in the chat and you'll see a bit.ly link. You can click that bit.ly link. You might have to click the chat icon. It will open up the chat. You can click the bit.ly link and you can download and follow along with this whole plan. So now that we've gotten this far, you understand that first things first, you have to level up. So you powered up, you spent your $95, $30 a month, you're ready to play. Next things next, you learn how to invite fans to become players. So you went through the process, you invited your 5 fans, you found your first 2 players, you got to level 1. Third, you learn that succeeding in Rippln is all about just playing the game and moving up the levels, and you set your goal, your eye on the prize of becoming an all-star. Now, how much money can you earn in the Rippln? And, this is obviously, I'm sure, been a huge question on everybody's minds. And the truth is, it's a lot. However, obviously, here's where we need our income disclaimer. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to get our income disclaimer. Income disclaimer. As with everything in life, there are absolutely no guarantees of income with Rippln. We do not know if you will make a dime. Common sense tells us all that you get out of life what you put into it. Well, Rippln is no different. If you put in no energy, no effort, and no action, you will get nothing back. Most people are like that and will experience zero results. However, we believe that you are different. We think you will challenge the status quo and step into your greatness. The question is, will you? So that's our little Rippln income disclaimer before I talk about essentially, just a baseline model, and really think about that question though. Will you step into your greatness? It's a great question to ask yourself. Basically, what we want to present tonight is truly, truly, truly the bare minimum baseline model. Because as you'll see, as we introduce the upcoming apps, the upcoming products, the app craze, the Rippln Connect, and all the different things that we're working on, we shared this Monday, your ability to actually increase your payouts goes through the roof. But here's the residual income potential just from the engagement bonuses that are paid through your Rippln. Now, because we are a technology company, and the things that are most valuable to any technology company is, number one, user acquisition. Okay, right? The more users a technology company has, the more valuable that company is. But the second metric that really determines how valuable those users are is engagement. Not only having users, but are those users engaged? And so Rippln pays an engagement bonus to every player, right? So if you're an actual player, we'll pay you an engagement bonus when you've invited your first 5 fans to the Rippln. So once you've acquired 5 fans, and if any 5 fans in your Rippln are active in a given 30-day calendar month, that's what we're looking for 5 engaged fans in your Rippln, we will award a 13 Rippln point bonus into the plan. Okay, so here's how that breaks down. If you have 20 players who qualify for the engagement bonus, which is a residual bonus, it pays every month, then your entire Rippln is free at that point. The Rippln will cost you nothing. Okay, if you have 100 players in your payable Rippln, right? So 100 players qualify for the engagement bonus. That's going to cover your phone bill, your cable, and your internet. Okay, give or take, depending on, I don't know, what your phone bill is or whatever, but roughly that's going to cover phone, cable, and internet. If you've got 1,000 players who get the engagement bonus in your Rippln in any given calendar period, it's going to pay your mortgage every single month. So if you got 1,000 players in your Rippln who qualify for engagement bonus every month, your mortgage is paid. Depending on if you have a less expensive than average mortgage, you've even got cash to possibly cover your car bill. Okay? I just want to give everybody, what this actually means. I really want to show you that when you're signing up players and when you're duplicating this plan that we've given you tonight, here's what this actually equates to. Here's what this means. If you've got 10,000 players in your Rippln who qualify for the engagement bonus, that is a $130,000 per year income, completely passive and completely residual. If you have 100,000 players in your payable Rippln who qualify for the engagement bonus, that is a $1.6 million per year income, completely passive and residual. Those are how the numbers actually break down. Now, what's so important to understand is that this does not include any of the other income that you can earn as products flow through the Rippln ecosystem. So imagine all the in-app purchases. Imagine all the hot new consumer electronic gadgets that we love to buy. Imagine the revenue sharing from hot new apps and getting paid when you share them. Imagine open authentication. The income from engagement bonuses is just the start. That's literally just the start, and it's limitless where we can go from there. So the reality is, do you see why it's so invaluable to start building your Rippln today and building your team of players? Because I believe that this is a path to complete financial freedom with the most innovative and fun conversation to earn your living that we've ever seen. And the last thing that I want to put into your imagination is, we're a very young company. I mean, we are literally baby. We're still taking baby steps. We're still crawling. It's how young we are, right? Well, what happens when the gamification is really matured, right? What happens when the ecosystem matured? I mean, this could be one of the most viral. Who would not want to play a game to share apps and share products they love and build the financial life of their dreams? Who would not want to do that? I mean, look at the condition that the world's in. If you could have fun and build the financial life of your dreams doing what you're already doing, who would not want to do that? I mean, the potential here is truly phenomenal. And I think that just like we saw the Ripple go viral, where we reached 1.2 million people faster than anybody in this industry has ever reached 1.2 million people. I believe that as this company matures and we really show the world, what we're made of in our apps and our products, we could see the player side of this go just as viral. And right now, I think the stronger your team is, the more you actually implement this plan that Michael and I are giving you tonight, the more you're positioning yourself for that moment, the more you're really positioning yourself, to just create a knockout success. So, partner, is there anything you want to contribute? Obviously, it's a big question. I know a lot of people have probably been asking, so I'm sure you've got some insight to add there too.
I'll keep it brief, but I mean, this is what's really exciting is when it becomes real. When it becomes real, when we run our first commission cycle and people get real money, and that real money transfers into their lifestyle or their utilities or their bills or their dreams or whatever it is, or all of those things. And like you said, that there's no guarantees. This is a simple formula of accumulating players who have fans, personal players who have personal fans, and duplicating that process as we, as you said, release other products into the community and ecosystem. Then just start tacking on accessories into each of those items. Get a cooler phone, get a bigger house, and save, 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 save. I have to say that. But that's what's really exciting is it becomes real for people. And, a lot of times people have sort of given up on the idea of being very well off financially, and it's about time that they shake that old garbage off and get excited about winning financially. I mean, get ecstatic about just crushing a financial home run, and let's go run with it. I mean, that's an insane plan, and it's simple.
Yep. I love it, man. Get excited. You've got to build the energy. I mean, once you've really set your goal, set your vision, and you can do it. You have absolutely no doubt. Your belief is 100%. Then you've got the energy that you need to go make this happen. I mean, that's what it takes at the end of the day, and you will go do it. And that's what having a community is all about. I mean, at Rippln, like what we're doing here is we're building a community. When you've got like-minded people who support you in reaching your goals, who support you in reaching your vision, who are going to be there to help you if you need a hand, who are going to give you encouragement. I mean, man, people pay thousands of dollars for that every month in therapy. And, we've got a community of people who just naturally, that's who we are. And I think that's one of the most amazing things about the community that we're building and the platform itself is that it's not just technology. We're all real people behind this, and we've got a chance to build the best friendships and relationships of our life, and all really focus, and go out there and create our biggest wins that we've ever created yet for our personal lives. And a lot of that has to do with this next section, my friends, which are what are your goals? Now, everybody really knows this, but few people implement this. If you don't really create, a vision for yourself, where do you want to be by next month, right? Where do you want to be by the end of this year? Where do you want to be, by the end of next year? Where are you going? When you truly answer those questions, when you really set that intention, set that vision, set those goals, then you actually have something to measure yourself against. You can actually drive yourself to achieve a certain outcome. So what I'm saying is that you need to set your goals. How many players do you want by the end of this month? We're talking August. How many more players are you going to have in your Ripple by the end of this month? Every single one of us needs to answer that question. How many new personal players are you committed to signing up every month? Because leadership is about action. People follow what you do, not what you say. If you want your team to duplicate, how many new people are you going to sign up this month? Everyone's going to follow what you do. And what's your goals? Where do you want your team to be by the end of this year? Do you want 1,000 people in your Ripple by January 1st? Do you want 5,000 people in your Ripple by January 1st? Do you want 20,000 people in your Ripple by January 1st? Because the thing is, you start by asking the right questions, okay? Once you're asking the right questions, you get the right answers. Example, how do I find new fans? How do I sign those fans up as players? How do I get my players to duplicate and follow my lead? How do I get my entire team to duplicate? How can I become a better leader to my team and build deeper relationships? How can I grow my own leadership skills? You start asking yourself these types of questions, and your entire life is going to change. Your entire life will change when you change the questions that you're asking yourself. Now, if you start asking yourself the right questions, the right answers will come, and your life and income generally always grows. If you ask yourself the wrong questions, you go backwards. So we've got to watch out for the wrong questions. Example, why isn't it working? What's wrong with me? Why doesn't anyone want to sign up? Why is it harder than I thought? Those questions will literally ruin business. And usually at the first sign of a challenge, most people give up because they start asking all the wrong questions. And those questions lead to assumed answers of powerlessness. You eventually end up to a point where you're powerless, or blame on something external. And if you're blaming or you're powerless, forget it. That's the death of business. It's the death of success. So real socialpreneurs do not ask those questions. We don't ask ourselves the wrong questions. Thus, we never give up. We ask better questions, and the answers that we find empower us to create real results in life. How many of you guys are following me? Let me see those hands go flying up. If you're following me on that very important section, let me see your hands. Let's see right here. Boom, boom, boom. That's what I want to see. I want to see at least 30%. We're almost there. Who's still following? And here we go. Are we going to top it? Bang! There we go. That's awesome, my friends. Michael, I mean, I know, a lot of this is just, this is how we live, but, what do you think, my friend? What else would you share concerning, setting your goals? I know that you're somebody who's really driven, and you drive yourself, and there's a power in that process, and it's why you've got hundreds of thousands of people in your Ripple. What would you really share with everybody about kind of their next steps for goal setting?
The funny thing is, when it comes to goals, people have to be careful what they dream about, because if they're small dreams, they just might hit them. And if they're small goals, like I had a goal, I'm not lying to you, those of you that were with me when we first started the Buzz campaign, of doing 3,800 people in the Ripple during our our Buzz phase, 3,800. And then I thought, man, if we got crazy and we really hit it hard, we'd have 38,000 in our Ripple during the Buzz campaign. We did 4,800 in one day, and about 20,000 pretty instantly in a matter of a handful of days. And we just shook our heads and went, dang, we set too small of a goal. And a lot of times the ability to set a goal comes with the belief that you can hit it. So if people work on their belief of what they believe is possible, the action will back it up, and they can actually knock down those goals. And I promise you, I've continued to be blown away on the goals that you set that you think you can't hit, and then you do, whether it's a financial goal or otherwise something different. You'd be blown away by what you can hit, and then you become obsessed with accomplishing goals, because once you've hit some that you didn't think you could, you start setting crazier ones and bigger ones and sexier and more luscious goals, and you're like, oh my gosh, you become a goal-setting machine, and it becomes almost a new way of life.
Bang. And that's that last phrase, my friend, new way of life. I mean, if you want to get where you've never been before, then you've got to become what you've never been before. At the end of the day, if we want to create whole new results in life, then we've got to live in a whole new way in life. And I think that part of what's so powerful about our community is that we can hold that intention, and we can all support each other in doing that, and we can step into absolute greatness here because we've got the possibility truly to knock it out of the park. I mean, essentially, we have unlimited possibilities. So, you can build this business as big as you can dream. There's nowhere we can't take this. There's nothing we can't do. The only limitation is your own thinking and your follow through with action. The more you challenge yourself to act, to get out there and make sure that you invited 5 new fans to the Ripple today. You called them. You're taking action on this plan. The more you challenge yourself to act, the more you will see rapid growth in your life and business. And the pace of growth is literally set with the pace of action. Okay? So the pace of your growth, how fast you want to grow, is how fast you're acting. If you're taking massive action, massive growth. Right action equals right results. So, my friends, ask your leadership team the right questions to get the right answers, and diligently apply the knowledge you receive in order to create immediate results. That is a proven path to success. So, without further ado, this is just sort of kicking things off for right now, the game plan for how to build an income with Rippln, what your next steps are. We're going to send an email out tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have the replay of this call so you can share this with any members of your team who weren't here. We'll also send a link out to this PDF so that you've got this PDF handy. You can pass around your team. And this is our map, my friends. This is our game plan, for the next 30 days, 90 days, whatever it is. We're going to go crazy, and we're going to make this happen, and we're going to ripple around the world. So, without any further ado, Mr. Rutherford, do you have any closing comments here you want to say before we sign off?
Oh, man, Jonathan, all I would say is this fall when all these college kids are putting on jerseys with their names on the backs of them, and a bunch of these old guys running around the country are wearing those kids' names on their jerseys because they're fans, recognize what possibility you have. Recognize that you can wear your own jersey on your own back in your own game and fight for your own life, not for someone else's. And it's not about rooting for another game with other players. Root for yourself. Lead yourself. And take advantage of what we've all been, some of us stumbled upon, some of us blessed upon, and take advantage of it like it's a responsibility. And let's go have a massive, massive fall into the new year. So, J-Bud, super happy to spend some time with you on the Hangout or on the webinar, man.
Hey, man, super happy as always. Anytime we ever get together to just do what we do and have these conversations, these are the real conversations of success. And I appreciate each and every single one of you. We had close to 1,000 people dialing in just tonight alone to really come learn, the plan to really go out there and let's crush it in our Rippln business. And truly, I appreciate each and every one of you more than you know. Super excited and honored to be side by side as we go out there and really pioneer, one of the newest and most innovative business models, I think that's in the marketplace today. So with that being said, my friends, keep your eyes glued to your email for some more updates coming soon. Appreciate you all, and we'll talk in a bit. Ciao.